What's up, everybody? It's Justin Porter here, and welcome back to the rePORTER Show, man. As always, I want to welcome my co-hosts, Josh Tucker and Devin Acosta. I almost messed that up, y'all, but I got it. You know what I'm saying? Man, it's the last episode of the semester. Let's go ahead and kick it off with men's soccer. Men's soccer was they were sent off to Kissimmee, Florida, to play in the NCCAA national tournament. And their first matchup was against Asbury, and they won that matchup 3-0. I believe was it Harry Garbutt had 2 goals in that match. Jamal Williams assisted on one of those goals, and then Jamal Williams also had a goal himself. So it seemed like them two
they
really
been doing their thing.
They was getting together on some goals, man. So they was getting it going.
Looking like that team that we saw at the beginning of the year. That look connection.
That's exactly
like
what it was,
the team that we first came to love, man.
Yeah. And so that was really good to see. I was happy to see that they actually had something going there, and they won that first matchup. But they went into the next matchup against Westmont, a team that is probably, honestly, evenly stacked up with them. I checked their records and their stats and everything, and it was sort of an even matchup. And that's sort of how it went throughout the game. Most of the game was a stalemate. And so they ended up scoring, I think the only goal in that game was scored in the 24th minute by Westmont. And then that was it for the game, man. So that ended their season. I wouldn't say it was a bad season, but I wouldn't say that it was a season that what they expected to do.
I agree.
I think for one, a lot of the conference games didn't go the way that they thought that they would go. A lot of one-score games. Sometimes you just don't.
A lot of those that came down to the wire too.
Yeah.
Like just one play literally defined the game.
Exactly, bro.
I mean, we can go back to like that Mac U game.
Yeah, the Mac U game was the biggest.
Like those got to be damaging to your confidence and stuff like that. I feel like we could have bounced back from that, but I mean, it's nothing against the soccer team. I still think they're a great team.
Yeah,
they most definitely have
their season is respectable for sure. I wish we could have. I think we had a good enough team on paper to go to the NAIA national tournament.
Absolutely.
And so I'm gonna say we underachieved in a little bit in that sense, but. Some kids, we still got some postseason experience.
Yeah.
It was NCCAA, but we still got to go play some games in the postseason, have some fun. So, I wouldn't consider the season a failure by any means for them.
For sure, bro. I'm still proud of them.
Yeah,
and
facts.
I'm looking forward to what they got next year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And so what I will say, though, is, it seemed like we played some really good defense in that first game against Asbury. They only took 2 shots on goal. But we turned right around in the second game, and we only had 1 shot on goal. I mean, we took 9 shots, but only 1 was on goal. So I don't know if that was them being more on our side of the field, or if it just so happened to be that when we got to their side of the field that they was just locking it down.
Man.
One or the other, but they made it happen, and so Westmont continued on, but we did not. And so that was it for men's soccer. But like they both said, man, they wrapped it up pretty well for me. I don't really have too much else to say other than that's all right, Not every season is always going to be a winning season. Not every season is always a championship season. I mean, there's always one team that wins the championship.
Yeah,
in our case, it's technically 2 because you got a champion for the NCCAA, you got a champion for the NAIA. Unless you golf, they could be. I know we forgot about that. They could win all sorts of championships. They could win any championship they want. But yeah, man. I mean, so
golf and cheerleading.
Exactly, golf and cheerleading. So. But yeah, man, that's I'm glad to see that y'all went down there and y'all at least got 1 dub before y'all came back home. I know y'all probably still enjoying Florida right now. I don't know
on
if
the
y'all
beach right now.
Yeah. To me, I wouldn't feel too bad about losing because if I get to stay, because I know it's a guaranteed amount of days they stay. But we're gonna go ahead and jump into the next subject, man. We got volleyball. Volleyball went out there and started going crazy. They went out there in their first 3 games, man. They went out there and got a dub. The first game, I believe, against Oakland City, they won that 3-1, 3 sets to 1. Fade was the game leader in that with 21 kills in that game. They also went into the next match against the Ozarks, and they won that game 3-2. Now, what was interesting about that matchup was they started off that set or those first 2 sets, and they lost both of those first 2 sets.
Dang.
And so, in volleyball, you only got to win 3 sets.
Yeah.
So if you drop the first 2, it's like, well.
Your confidence.
Time to pack it up.
It's time. Well, I guess we better go home.
Yeah, exactly, bro. But they held it down. They stood on business, and they came back and won 3 straight sets, man.
Doing good for
them,
man.
They won 3 straight sets. So that was really cool to see, man, them storming back and winning 3 sets in a row. But what was really crazy to me about that matchup was if you looked at the stats and the stats only, there's no way we should have won that game. They beat us in every stat. They beat us in points. They beat us in kills. They beat us in aces. They beat us in blocks. They beat us in assists. They beat us in digs.
Boy, I know they was so mad after that game.
I don't know how we escaped with a win, bro.
Like seeing that stat sheet after the game, like they probably looking at that in the locker room and just like,
how?
It is like, it is what it is, I guess. Like, that's crazy, man. Hey, but props to us, man.
Props to us. That's crazy work.
Especially coming back down.
Yeah, it's hard to battle down 0-2.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially in the postseason, like
that's pressure.
You get just thinking like, man, well, I guess I'm gonna come back next year. Like,
exactly.
You're already down.
You already
big,
know how
like,
it is.
Yeah,
man. When it gets down to the end of a game, you start thinking to yourself like, all right, well.
You already start trying to think of coping mechanisms. Like, dang, well, we lost. Now what? Like, So
start playing in your off season.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
what I'm gonna do this
maybe
summer?
they just wasn't quite ready to come back to Plainview. So
I know
they were trying to stay out there in Missouri.
Exactly, and so that was really cool to see. I mean, I just couldn't believe it. I said, hold on. Points, blocks, digs, kills, assists. We didn't win nothing, but we still won the match. I don't know how that works.
Win is a win.
Me either. I guess we
A win is a win. A win is a win, and I'll take it any day, man.
I will take it, and so I'm proud of y'all for that. That's hard to come back, dropping the first 2 sets and then winning the next 3 against the number 1 seed in that tournament.
Dang.
I believe that was.
Oh, I know that confidence went down.
Yeah, they had to.
Like, you know, you playing against the number 1 team.
Yeah.
You go down 0-2. You gotta think, hey man, y'all got it.
I don't know if it was a player or if Coach Yakamazi got on them after that second set, but somebody, because you know they take a break after the second set.
Yeah.
And so it's like a little halftime somewhat. And so I don't know what was said in that halftime, in that locker room, in that huddle. But
it worked.
It worked.
Whatever they said, it worked.
And they took some Michael's secret stuff and
Something,
something, boy. They got on one, man.
Yeah, man. And so of course that set them up to and then after that they played Clinton College, and that was just, I don't know how Clinton made it, because they didn't look too good. I mean, we ran through Clinton. We beat them 3-0, and it was just bad. The first set was 25-18. That was the closest one. The second set, 25-6. Third set, 25-7.
Dominated them.
Yeah, bro. And then 2 of those last 2 matches that we won, we were hitting above an average of 400. And so, in volleyball and also in baseball, if you're hitting anything above 350, that's pretty excellent.
Pretty
that's not even good. That's pretty
elite.
excellent. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all are hitting above 400, y'all must have just
some murder.
Yeah. They literally was just like, all right, I'm gonna set her. Let me set the back row this time. You know what I'm saying? Like
it was practice.
Yeah, it probably was
trying
drill work.
Drill work. Exactly, bro. And so, I mean, I don't know. You know, sometimes that's just how it is. It's always gonna be that one team that slips in, and you just like, how y'all end up here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but
single digit scoring in 2 sets
in the
is
playoffs
crazy.
Is mad.
Yeah.
That's outrageous.
Yeah, it is, bro.
That's outrageous.
And so, they got that win easily, and so they went 3-0. They swept their bracket, I guess, and then that set them up against MacU, bro. That set them up against MacU, man. And
is it like a rivalry brewing up?
I don't think it's a rivalry.
This is the thing, though.
I'm sorry, because
I love the volleyball team.
Yeah,
we gotta beat them once for it to be a rivalry.
Yeah, we gotta beat them for it to be a rivalry. Because just give me a number without looking at the paper. You might have already seen it, but give me a number of how many times you think we played them in just this one season.
I know at least three or 4.
We played them 5 times. And we lost 5 times. We don't have an answer for them. I don't know what it is, but it's just like that one team that you just can't get by.
You just can't.
They just a juggernaut to them, you know?
Man.
I don't know what it is about MacU that we just can't get past them, but we lost to them in 3-1. So it was, I think we've only had one match against them. It was probably midway through the season where we took them to 5 sets. Other than that, we typically only won 1 set, or we didn't win a set.
Man.
So of course that was the end of their season. MacU.
I don't know what. I mean, they say it's hard to beat a team 2 times, 3 times.
But
they beat us 5 times, man. Like, we couldn't have snuck one win in there. Like, man, I don't know, man. I'm gonna give MacU credit. Like, maybe they're just a great team, but man, I know we could have. Surely we could have beat them at least once, but I don't know, man. That's just how it goes sometimes.
I think I think, like you guys say, it becomes a mental thing. Mm-hmm. When you play a team that you know ended your regular season, they ended your conference tournament season, and then you got to play them again in the NCCAA, and then they end that season for you. It's just like
it's demoralizing your confidence,
bro.
Man. It really is.
Every time, because every single time I see them come across, I'm like, here they go.
Here we go. we got them boys again.
Exactly, man. And so that was it for them. That was the end of their season as well. And I would say the same thing that I said about soccer. They had a very promising team, but they also had a very young team.
I agree.
They had a very young team. And I bet if I were to sit down with Coach and talk about this season, just as long as him and as well as the parents and all the fans, I'm pretty sure that everybody would say they're very proud of them.
For sure.
I think for a lot of them coming in, this is their first competition, college-wise, or this is their first competition here at the NAIA level in this conference. It's a new team. It's a young team. And so I think that takes a lot to really put together a team within 1 year and get them ready to go.
It does. A lot of teams, you got to learn how to win.
Yeah.
I mean, conference play is not anything close to what these girls have played in high school or nothing like that. I mean, every conference game is tough, and every conference game is pretty much like a playoff game in high school. So, I mean, you got to learn. Once we learn how to win and get some wins under our belt, I think the future of the volleyball program is bright, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. You got anything to say to add to that?
He put it perfect, man.
Yeah.
But I would say next year, man, maybe our goal needs to be beat MACU, because it's like the root of a problem for our season was we didn't beat MACU. We could have advanced in the conference tournament if we would have beat them. So like maybe we need to just focus like, man, forget everything else. Let's beat them, and good things will happen.
That's true, man. But yeah, it was really good to see that y'all went further than. I don't want to say what we expected, because I expected y'all to do something crazy.
Agreed.
But I know that it is a young team and it takes time, so I understand that. But I'm glad that y'all did what y'all did. Y'all went down there and y'all got y'all's wins. I mean, the same thing in the conference tournament. Y'all got y'all's win. It's just y'all ended up playing MACU. And then you went to regionals and you got your win, and then you ended up playing MACU. And then you got to the tournament and you got your wins, and then you ended up playing MACU.
At this point, I hope MACU wins the whole thing.
They
honestly.
lost. They lost in the championship game, though.
Oh, okay. At least I made it, but like, man.
It is what it is. But you know what? I'll put it like this. Next year, let's make the NAIA tournament, and then maybe NCCAA will snatch up MACU.
Yeah.
We ain't got to worry about it.
yeah, that's a good strategy.
That's a good strategy right there. So I'm proud of y'all, though.
Sure.
That's always, it's always, seasons are tough. Injuries, mental breakdowns, mental challenges.
And like you said earlier, being a young team, learning how to compete at the college level, physically and also mentally. Like we said, that mental block is such a big obstacle to overcome.
It is.
Especially being new to this. Like they got to learn how. They got to learn how to win, and they got to learn how to lose. How to turn those losses into lessons. It's that simple.
That's facts.
And so with that being said, man, we did have one award for them, I believe, at the end of that tournament. I believe Fede Agambade was named all-tournament team. So props to you on that. I think if you named all-tournament team, that gives you a qualified, certified nominee. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to put you on the board. You're a nominee this week. We're going to talk about some other athletes later on in this show as well. But you definitely get that first nominee of this week, man. So props to y'all. Next, we're going to go ahead and jump into men's basketball. You know what I mean? Second part, I'm going to start out with some good news first.
Facts.
I'm going to start out with some good news
Let's
first.
hit the good news first.
The second poll of the year that came out, they were ranked in the top 10 at the number 10 spot. So the 10th ranked team in the nation. I love to see it. You know what I'm saying? We're making our way up there, getting some respect. They're putting some respect on our name, on the coach's name, on the players' names. We get some recognition. But along with that comes responsibility.
Agreed.
When you got that ranking on your back, everybody wants you.
Yeah, it's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be ranked, but when you're ranked, everybody wants to beat you too.
Yeah,
so
exactly. And so you're gonna get everybody's best game.
Agreed.
More than likely.
Agreed.
I don't know what it is, but it's a sports thing. When you're playing a top ranked team and you ain't ranked, you go out there on 10.
You do.
You just play to the best of your day. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And for me, being from Alabama, it's funny when I think about it because I'm an Auburn fan. And as y'all know, Alabama runs college football, and sometimes they get a little help. But anywho, we ain't gonna get into all that. But it's funny because even when Auburn has a terrible year, when they play Alabama, they show up.
Like this year.
Yeah, like this year, and they almost beat them. And it's just crazy. It's the same thing with y'all, man. It's just like when you're playing a team that's ranked, their game is just up, like all types of levels. And so y'all looking around like, hold on, this ain't the team.
That was on film, nothing like that.
Exactly. And so that's what happened. They ran into MacU earlier last week, Thursday evening, and they went into the second half with a 29-23 lead. So it wasn't that bad of a game. They had the lead. They were doing what they were supposed to be doing. And it was, it was a back and forth. It was a close little match, but I honestly never had a thought in my mind like, okay, I'm worried. I was just like, it's a close game, but it's gonna be all right. We're gonna win. We're gonna pull it out.
Yeah.
And so,
so we have no talent on the team to close that out.
Yeah.
Multiple options.
Yeah, we do.
You know what I mean?
We have plenty of talent. That was the thing. That's why I was just like, I'm not worried. Somebody gonna do something. And so. It came down to the end of it, man, and before I even get down to the end of the game, what was crazy to me, even though we were, I believe, I don't think I have it written down, but I think we were 9 for 12 in the second half on free throws or something. I don't know what it was. I'm sorry, but it was a good percentage, enough, but we did miss some key free throws.
We did.
You know what I'm saying? Yes, we did hit free throws, but we didn't hit the ones that count.
Yeah, down the stretch, we didn't make a lot of winning plays down the stretch. We got down 8 with 5-6 minutes left. We still battled back and obviously had the lead with 5 seconds left. But we make a lot of those free throws and we're probably up 4 or 5 with a minute left.
And not even
we got a lot of better chance. And they got a lot of the offensive rebounds, and that's what killed us too.
I was thinking that too.
Yeah, we just down the stretch. We made enough plays to call back into the game, but we really didn't make enough plays just to seal the game and to put them away. And, of course, props to them. They shot lights out from 3 the second half as well. So they came out hitting.
And that was the thing. When you look at the stats, sometimes it's hard to tell the story between being there at the game and reading the stats. Because you read the stats, you say, oh, free throws fine, oh, rebounds fine. But when you were at the game, you recognize that key plays, it didn't happen.
It didn't.
Free throws we didn't get. Rebounds we didn't get when we should have got the rebounds. They got second chance points when they shouldn't have gotten that chance.
Agreed.
And so when it came down to it, now we in the clutch. Now we got to have something crazy happen. You know what I'm saying? So we get the rebound, we drive down the court, Ball gets the ball. What he do? He pull up. I'm like, oh my God. Everybody in the stands standing up. Boom, he banged. Everybody going crazy, right? I'm like, oh, we just won the game. That's crazy. And so I'm like, oh, that's amazing. But then Buddy get the ball, he run up the court and he jack up a 3 and he bangs it. And I was like, oh, I guess that's it right there.
I felt like he had too much time. Like
he did.
When he shot that ball, it looked like a comfortable shot.
Yeah,
it looked like the shot that you worked in practice.
Watching it from where I saw it,
it looked like he had too much time to pull it.
That's what I thought too, man. I mean, but at the end of the day, you take the shot. You know what I'm saying? If because you got to think about it. If Bo didn't take the shot, right? Let's say we were down 1, right?
We're down 1, yep.
Down 1. Let's say he don't take the shot. Let's say he makes another pass, tries to run the clock down some more, and we miss it.
Oh yeah, no, but I'm saying like the defensive pressure.
Oh, absolutely.
We didn't pressure. He was too comfortable pulling that shot. It was too much time to think, time to plan out what he was gonna do.
You gotta. I agree, and obviously we all wish it would have went different.
Yeah.
But you gotta think he makes the big 3. We're either expecting them to call a timeout and they throw it in, and it was just like.
Didn't happen.
We got to scramble.
Yeah.
Granted, we we definitely didn't. It wasn't our best defensive possession. He hit a comfortable shot, but it's just like, man, after, it's pandemonium after he hits a 3. We just like, man, somebody go stop ball, do this and that. He hit a good shot, so credit to him. But, a lot of people think that, it just happened because of that one play, because we let him score.
But it ain't.
There's a lot more possessions we let them score. Facts.
Like I said, like we said earlier, that possession wouldn't have even mattered if we hit our free throws and we get that rebound. You know what I'm saying? And so. Like you said though, when I was watching that, when y'all will see it on the show as well. We're gonna put the video up. But when you watch him release that shot, there wasn't a hand in his face. We put it up afterwards. But and this ain't calling nobody out. This is just I'm just talking about the game. But when like you said, when he was coming down the court, he was just shooting. There was no hand in his face. There was a man there. but there was no hand in his face. And like you said, he just came up the court. There was no pressure. But like you also said, it's pandemonium when you hit a three like that.
I mean, everybody's going crazy. We're all
everybody
halfway celebrating.
You celebrating, but at the same time, you like, okay, hold on, I got to.
Still basketball to play.
Defense.
Yeah, we still got to play the game.
And so we ended up losing that game, man, and that was a little heartbreaker.
It was. I mean,
I won't lie. So
it's basketball.
Yeah.
They hit big shots sometimes. Things don't go your way, but I mean, the sack is tough. That's the bottom line. The sack is tough. It's a 22-round boxing match. That's what our coach calls it, and he ain't lying about that, man. So you got to come with it every night, especially when you're ranked.
Yeah.
Because every other team gonna come with their best game. So.
And that's that. And so, but we're gonna go ahead and jump into this game that they had against Southwestern Christian, man. I don't want to take too much time, but we went into that game and Linton Brown came out just
on fire.
I don't know what he drank the night before, or you know what I'm saying, what energy pills he took, but he came out there just jacking up threes, and he was making them all. And so I was like, oh, he on one tonight. So the first half, he ended up with 18 points just in the first half. He came out in the second half and kept it going. He ended up with 32 points on the night, shooting 52% from the field, 50% from the three. And the team handled business. I mean, that is what it is. I mean, we had 3-4 guys in double digits. It was a game that we expected to win, so we went out there and we actually won the game.
Did.
For sure. Brett had a good game.
Yeah.
Bo had a good game. Yep. Bo had some energetic plays.
Yeah, Bo had some big time plays.
Hey, man, Bo dunked that ball and hit his head against the wall. I said, bro, what did you do?
I said, what the wall?
What the wall? Yeah,
what the wall doing,
man? That was funny, but like they said though, y'all had some guys. Everybody was really ready to go.
We set the tone from the jump, and it was over with after that. But that was a game that honestly, it was a little nerve-wracking because it had a lot of potential to go bad. I mean, Jackson was at like 50%. He played just because he cares. But D-Mike, we had to sit D-Mike because he's hurt. Kel has COVID, and obviously we have a lot of other guys ineligible and hurt. And so it was just we were pretty short-handed for the most part. And we had just lost one game, so that had potential to go bad for us. But so I was proud of how we came out there and just handled business because going 0-2 and that's not a good start at all to conference. So
people stepped up.
Facts.
Everybody stepped up.
Definitely. And so with that, man, they ended up the week. They ended up that week 1-1. We'll see what happens with the rankings, but I know that's something that we're really not worried about. As long as we continue to handle business on the court, basketball gonna be all right. But let's go ahead and jump into women's basketball, man. They also had a couple of exciting games this past week, man. To open up conference play, they had to play the 19th ranked team in the nation, MacU, the team that was picked to win the conference. They do a little preseason stuff. And they dominated the first quarter. First quarter was 28-15. I said, oh, this the 19th ranked team in the nation? I said, well, then, I ain't worried about nothing. And so, but the rest of the game did not look that pretty.
We wasn't hitting shots.
It wasn't hitting nothing.
Like, it got bad.
Got bad. Quick.
It was a live or die by the three type of situation.
I mean, first quarter, it was probably 8 possessions in a row. We were just letting them go. Yeah. But when we hit them, it's like, man, let's keep letting them go.
Don't matter.
Yeah, so I don't know.
And like they said, man, I mean, it was like that first quarter was just dominant. It was just like we were just a whole different team. We was hitting shots like we were supposed to be. And that first quarter, I'm gonna break down the first quarter stats for y'all. 55% from the field, 62% from the three, and 100% from the line.
Gosh,
so they was shooting the lights out for real. And then, like I said, from that point on, we struggled. We won the second quarter, 16-13. The third quarter, we lost 20-29. And the fourth quarter, we lost 14-19. And so it was just like it was a battle from that point forward. And the first quarter is what really saved us, honestly.
It is, yeah.
The first quarter saved us, man. And so, when I was watching the game, I thought to myself like, y'all got comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's exactly what it was. It's just like y'all got comfortable. You can't ever get comfortable with a team, whether they good or not. Because when you get comfortable, then you get relaxed. You lose that edge, and now you're not playing the same.
And I feel like it's easy too. You're at home playing a good team, and you can't miss a shot. So we're thinking, we already won.
Yeah, we straight. We good.
And then once we went cold from the 3-point line, man, MacU just went on that run.
They did.
For like 3 straight quarters they was on a run pretty much.
They did, man. And so, got down to the end of it, man. It was, 5 seconds left on the clock, I think. And we inbounded the ball to Linda. She went up there and she got that buzzer beater. Now, I will say, listen, I don't care. We can say it because we fans. I'm glad we got the dub. But that was a very questionable buzzer beater.
It was.
I will not lie, because on the field, that red looked like it was already up on the board. Before she let go of the ball out of her hand.
The ball was still
Credit to Linda, man. That's not anything. You know, we're not taking away from her clutchness because she got straight to the rack and got straight to business and made the shot. It's not as much discredit to her as it is, I mean, to the referee.
To the ref.
I'm glad we won.
I'm glad we won too. Yeah.
How it happened, I'm glad the girls won. Yeah. I mean, they upset the 19th ranked team in the country, but if I was the other team's coach, I promise you that I'd have had a lot to say about it. I'd have a lot to say about it.
Yeah, I got fired, but
yeah, man. So, I guess I'm just glad they won.
Yeah, that's what it was just funny to me because I was just like, that was not.
No, it definitely wasn't. Like, I'm sitting there as I'm watching, I'm like, and they all started celebrating. I'm like, well, surely they're not going to count it.
Yeah,
like,
because game was tied, right?
Yeah, it was tied.
So I was expecting OT.
OT.
Yeah,
and the referee. But you know how it is with the referees though. When they make a call and they don't want to talk to nobody, they made the call and they took off.
Well,
it was over with.
They get gone. They ran a
they
flat
off
to that
the
locker
court,
room.
Flat, and so I was looking around and I said, hey, I guess we'll take it, bro.
Thanks.
And so they won that game, man, and we'll show you guys that interview, courtesy of Dev for us, man. We interviewed the coach right after the game to talk about the ladies and how they came out on fire in the first quarter. He saw the same thing as we saw. He was like, we got lazy, and so we'll let him talk about that, man.
So, we really focused on the defense. I thought the first half, our shooting was really good. Obviously, we hit a bunch of threes, and I think we kind of thought it was going to be easy coming out in the second half. Kind of let them have a little bit of life because we weren't hitting all the threes like we were in the first half. And a lot of those girls, that's their first Sooner Athletic Conference competition. And to be playing the team that's picked to win the conference, that's a tall order. So we kept the scouting report simple and really focused on us and what we needed to do to be successful and how we needed to play. And, you know, ultimately, you know, we always talk about it comes down to that the last few minutes comes down to who made more plays. You know, you have all these different stats and stuff to look at, but, you know, the last 25 seconds we made plays and, you know, that was to our favor. So I'm proud of our girls for stepping up and doing it.
So then we went on to play Southwestern Christian later on that Saturday, and it was the same thing, man. Early on, we were, well, it wasn't the same thing, but in terms of how we played that let them be in the game, it was the same thing because we were missing shots, we weren't getting key rebounds.
It was once again live or die by the three.
It
and
was.
In that game, the shooting was just.
It wasn't that great.
Yeah, we shot good in the first quarter against MacU, and then it died down.
Mm-hmm.
That next game
wasn't that.
Nothing at all when it comes to shooting efficiency.
What I realized, what I recognize about that is we miss too many easy shots.
Mm-hmm.
It sometimes it's not even about the fact that you got to be perfect from the field, but you cannot miss the easy ones.
Facts.
If you sitting up under the board, wide open, you can't brick that layup. You know what I'm saying?
No,
that's what's going to separate you from the rest of the crowd. You know what I'm saying? There's good teams. There's, you know, average teams. There's teams that ain't that good. And then there's teams that are championship teams. And to separate yourself from being a good team to putting yourself in a championship team, you got to make the easy ones.
Come down to the little stuff.
You know what I'm saying? It's the little
easy
stuff.
Layups and stuff.
And so if you're missing a wide open shot at the block, you missing a wide open shot right up under the goal. You know what I'm saying? Those are things that I know that they do every day at practice. That's their common.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's what they do. That's their drills. They do it before the games. They do it at practice. You know, this is something that you do every day.
It's drill work.
Yeah, it's drill work.
It should be habit.
It should be habit. And so you can't get in the game and miss wide open shots.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, when I say stuff like that, I'm not calling nobody out, but it's just I'm talking about the game. And so if you want to be that team, you got to make those shots.
It's accountability.
It is.
That's all it really is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, you expect to make it as an athlete. we expect you to make it as a fan, so we know your potential, we know what you're capable of.
Yeah.
And so we're just like holding you accountable and, want them to hold themselves accountable because, like I said, we know their potential. We've seen them ball plenty of times. So, I mean, that's my expectations, and I 100% believe that they can do that.
And the thing I'll say about it is, we've had 2 games where we didn't shoot our absolute best at home, and we still found a way to win. So that's the really impressive thing is, like, because our shots going to come. Like, we're going to have some games where we shoot how we did the first quarter against Mackey. We're going to shoot that the whole game. Like, I know they're going to have some games like that, and they're going to beat people by 50.
Yeah, McDonald's free fries.
But when it's not falling and we still can get away with the win, that's what shows you something about that team.
Yeah.
Like, we got something going there.
It is. And so that game came down to the end of the game as well, man. The last 5 seconds, man. There's another one. They inbound the ball to Linda again. She gets to the spot. She gets fouled. She hits the free throw. It wasn't enough time on the clock for them to really get a shot off after that.
Yeah.
And so she missed the second one, but it didn't really matter. Once they got the ball in, boom, the buzzer was on. So it was just like, all right, we'll take that. And so we won that game 67-66 as well. So they had 2 games where they're winning on the buzzer-beating shots. And so I just hope.
And not playing like them.
Playing well.
Like Tuck said, we not playing like ourselves the way we need to be playing, the way we've seen them play. And like you said, they still managed to come out with the win.
You never can complain being 2-0 in conference. So.
Exactly.
I'll take an ugly win any day.
Any day.
Day.
And last year Southwest Christian swept us in the regular season and beat us in the conference championship.
Did they really?
So we didn't beat Southwest Christian in a while, so that was good for them to beat them. And they're a good team too. So, but and also I just think the conference should be glad Caitlin not playing, because I just think like Linda's been our clutch player so far this season, and after I saw her hit that layup, I was just thinking like, or even when they were in that whole situation, I'm like, man, if we had Caitlin, I know exactly what she gonna do. The whole gym knew what she gonna do. And she's gonna knock it down. Because boy, I remember last year she hit a buzzer beater after buzzer beater, got fouled. I mean, she was nice in the clutch. So man, I wish the Queens had her right now. But Linda doing a good job of stepping up and taking that role.
She is doing a really good job of that. And so I want to shout out Taylor Houston as well. She ended up with 18 points in that game, shooting 62% from the field. So
it's tough.
Way to step up.
Yeah, it's tough.
Big steps up, man. And like you said, when you got a key injury down, that's a key player. You got to have people step up.
Facts.
And so they're doing that right now. And so they're doing that struggling. And so to see them win struggling, oh, man.
Yeah.
They get going.
Yeah, it's going to be ugly.
Yeah.
That's going to be
gonna be scary.
Yeah, so I'm glad to see that from y'all, man.
Get my free fries.
But we're going to go ahead and jump to that next subject so we can go ahead and get this one wrapped up, man. We got men's wrestling and women's wrestling. Men's wrestling lost to OCU 17-31. They only won 2 matches in that matchup against OCU. Alex Pena he won his match 19-3. That's a guy that always handled his business.
Man, yeah.
That dude right there. I don't recall the last time I've seen a close match with him here at home and even away. I mean, other than that, the only other time I remember him having a close match was against Oklahoma State. I mean, if that's your close match, then boy, you dangerous.
Yeah.
You dangerous. And so he handled his business. He won 19-3, and then I think Hunter McCarty also won by fall. So that was good for them. But as a team, they didn't come out on top, so that was a tough one. Women's wrestling. Now, at first, they had a little mix-up. We thought that they upset the number 12 ranked OCU team in wrestling, but ended up not winning. They lost that match 21-25. It was a really close matchup. They won 5 out of the 9 matches, though. But they had a forfeit at 155, which is probably what set them apart.
Yeah.
They didn't have a weight class. They didn't have somebody there for that weight, so they ended up losing that match, of course, by forfeit, and that's probably, honestly, what put them over us. But other than that, we would have won. We would have won, and so that's good to see. Even though we didn't win, we really had.
You're more than capable.
Yeah, you're more than capable. Exactly. Like if you win 5 out of 9 matches,
we won more than we lost.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
It's like, what do you do about that?
Exactly. And so, Adelie Cruz, that's another lady. That's really, she just gonna handle business. She won 14-4. She's the same as Alex. Those are 2 wrestlers that I don't see them struggle a lot. They get out there on the court, they get their points or they get their fall, and they're like, all right, I'm going to
get straight to it. Get straight to it.
And so I believe Michaela Heyman won by fall, Kaylani Guillermo won by fall, Mahogany Castle won 8-2, and then Peyton Schulander upset number 13 ranked Ryan Rumsey from OCU. She also won by fall. So they, like I said, they was handling business.
Yeah, they handle business. I don't understand the rules as much, you know, still, even after talking to Coach Mitch, but from what it looks like, man, I tip my hat to them. Like, they won more matches than they lost, so.
Yeah. Wrestling is a team that has always had a lot of good athletes ever since I've been here, and I know before I was here. So they carry a weight to that name. If you at Wayland and you wrestling, you must be solid.
Yeah,
because they're handling business.
Facts.
So props to y'all. We got some certified nominees. I want to say before we wrap it up, we had Fade early on. I also think I'm gonna throw Linton in there, man.
Gotta throw Linton in there for sure.
32 and shoot above 50%.
Facts.
All right, I'm gonna give you that. And so, what y'all think about Taylor?
No, that's in a big time game.
Big
Yeah, that's
time?
certified worthy for sure. That's
Stepped up
certified worthy
when
for
the
sure.
name was called. So
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're gonna throw Taylor on there as well with 18 points, shooting above 62%. That is ridiculous. I would throw you up there, Linda, but we got a lot of people on the board this week, and we are gonna give you that big shout out for getting those 2 wins for us at the end of the game. And so I don't want you to think that we're leaving you out, but we're gonna have those 3 on the board for us this week.
Facts.
And so we're going to go ahead and tell y'all about the upcoming games. Since this is the last one we're going to be here, we're probably not going to be able to wrap up these games, but I wanted to let y'all know about them. Basketball will be versus OCU on Tuesday or
Thursday.
Thursday, my bad, I'm sorry. Thursday, and then also against John Brown on Saturday, so they'll be traveling on the road this week. The week after that, basketball will be traveling again against, they'll be going to OPSU. Wrestling will also be traveling. The Reno TLC duel against Eastern Oregon. And basketball, again, will be coming back. I believe they have a home game.
Yes.
I know ain't nobody going to be there, so I'm sorry for
Nah,
y'all.
man, it's going to be a dead game.
Everybody gonna be at the crib.
Everybody going to be home, man. And so they'll be playing Northern New Mexico. Wrestling also has another matchup. I couldn't quite understand that matchup, but I know that they will also have another matchup. They'll be traveling again. And then basketball will be playing Our Lady of the Lake later on this break. So,
Women's basketball.
Just women's basketball?
Yeah, man, we already played them.
Oh,
so just women's.
bet. My fault. So, see, that's why we got people on the show to help me out there. I can't do this on my own. I'll mess it up. But just women's basketball will be playing Our Lady of the Lake. And so I believe that will be the only games that we have over the break. So, once again, thank y'all for being here, man. For those who stayed and watched the stream, the games, to come to the games, those who watched the show, those who supported us, told us what they liked, what they didn't like, all of that stuff, man. And thank y'all for voting, for the athletes of the week. That's a big thing. I know, that's something that we created, but I think a lot of people love that.
Nah, facts, yeah.
When they see athlete of the week or player of the week, boy, everybody be posting.
Yeah, they do.
Hey, go vote for me. You know what I'm saying? So
they do, man.
That's really cool to see. But I know we're probably getting close on time, but I wanted to say, since I know we're not going to be here for Christmas, and Merry Christmas to all of y'all, and I really hope that y'all have safe travels back home. Everybody enjoys their break with their family, and that y'all enjoy just being able to spend time and go enjoy your friends, your family, your hometown, wherever it is that y'all are going.
For sure.
And, I think that's all we got. We got our hot chocolate from the Creamery.
We're going to work on that sponsorship next semester. We're going to get a sponsorship
eventually.
down
One day it's going to happen.
And before I close it out, I want to say big shout out to Ray as always. Thank him for helping us out. Y'all don't see all the stuff that he does behind the scenes, not only for us, but also for the school. He's really a big help around here. And a big shout out to Vega. I don't think a lot of y'all understand the work that he did this fall for the fall sports, man. All the stats that y'all saw, all the stories that y'all saw for the sports, man, that was Vega. And he's a full-time student. He ain't no graduate student. He ain't none of that. And so he was taking on a job of an SID. And for those of y'all that don't know, that's a big job. You gotta update stats. You gotta update rosters. You gotta update games. You gotta put out stories. You gotta do all this stuff. And so for him to do that as a student, if y'all see him, that's the buddy with the long black hair, little tall dude with the glasses that be sitting at every one of y'all's games. If y'all see him, man, just tell him y'all appreciate him.
Shout out Angel, man.
Yeah, he does a lot of stuff that's just underappreciated.
A lot of stuff,
he
man.
does.
And so I wanted to make sure I gave that shout out to him. And as always, I want to give a shout out to Dev for helping me out with a lot of stuff. He's always doing stuff behind the scenes as well, helping me out getting the interviews, helping me out get coverage of games. And so we got a team, man, and it's always better to have a team than doing individual stuff. And so we'll see y'all same time in the spring. Maybe not at the same time of the day, but definitely on the same day of the week. So we'll be back in the spring. I hope y'all have a good break, man. And that's all we got for y'all.
Facts.
Boom.
Appreciate it, man.
All right.